My ultimate Sports Center highlight would go something like this.
And I blast out of the starting gate at Sugarbush, Vermont in the Bud Mogul Series. I'm skiing faster than I ever skied before. Boom, boom, boom into that first jump, and I fly off that first air. I see Duffy Wilson over on the sideline.
Not now, Duffy. I'm a busy man.
And I land way down the hill, halfway down the hill, and here comes that second air, and I fly off that second air way over the judges' stand and into the hot tub. Ready for the next edition of the Bud Mogul Series right here on ESPN.
Welcome to the Bud Mogul Series. This weekend, it's the Paul Mitchell Cup from Sugarbush, Vermont. Hi everybody, I'm Duffy Wilson and welcome to the fourth stop of the Bud Mogul Series. This is also the middle leg of the $10,000 Budweiser East Coast Triple Crown. $10,000 can go to one skier if he can win all three events. Last event in Sunday River, Chuck Martin won. Now the issue here in Sugarbush, can Chuck put two together and put the pressure on everybody to try to stop him in Killington, Vermont? Joining me on the telecast are ESPN analyst Nelson Carmichael, Olympic bronze medalist. Nelson, it's tough enough to ski against other skiers, but Stein's run here in Sugarbush is very tough too.
Well, it certainly is, and if anybody can handle it, it probably is Chuck Martin. But this is a very tough course. It's icy. I think you're going to see the most amount of problems after that first jump. It's steep right there. It's icy. You're going to see guys blowing out right about in the middle of the course. After that, it's fairly simple. I think you'll see them fly off that second air, and it's fast to the finish line.
Chuck Martin and all the skiers are ready to go here on Steins. We'll be back with that. Nice helicopter, Nelson.
The 1994 Bud Mogul Series is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a clean, crisp, classic taste. And by Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care for vibrant hair nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. Welcome back to the high-flying action of the Bud Mogul Series. They're at the start here on Steins. It's the 8th and 9th seeds. Carson number 8, Holmes number 9.
Out of the gate, this top section up here isn't too difficult. Mostly where the skiers run into troubles after this first jump. Holmes there with a top back and a back scratcher spread from Carson. Holmes looking a little bit ahead at this point.
Bradley Holmes skiing very well in the middle section on the blue course. And Nelson, I'd say the red course is tough in the middle. Bradley Holmes really moved out there, and a nice double twister by Bradley.
Certainly was, and a helicopter there from Chris Carson, although I don't think it's going to be quite enough today. Bradley Holmes had an excellent run.
With a score of 14-11, Bradley Holmes advances over Chris Carson. Our next pairing will see the number 5 seed and the man who has a chance to win $10,000 on this East Coast Triple Crown. It'll be Chuck Martin on the blue course. Martin skiing out of Killington, Vermont. He'll be going up against Paul Lane. Paul Lane was second in our first event from Breckenridge, Colorado. Lane skiing out of Heavenly. Martin skiing out of Killington. They're at the start, and they're now skiing out of Sugarbush, Vermont as they're on course.
Well, this should be a great run. Both these skiers have some excellent turns going. Let's see what they can do in the airs right there. Down to the push from Chuck Martin. Paul Lane a little bit sideways. Oh, he's trying to get back into the line.
And we're seeing some tough skiing on the red course. I hope that the red course can ski with the blue course, as Chuck Martin is having a great run on the blue course, and Paul Lane is not as he heads to the finish line. Martin looking very good. Nelson, looking at Chuck Martin's run, he's skiing within himself, making sure he makes good turns. Chuck probably will not beat himself today. And Dave Hilb is moving on as he won against Dana Underwood. And Chris Drops is moving on as he advances over Jeff Stoll in the round of 16. And also moving on, moving out of the round of 16 is Justin Patnode.
Patnode took it conservatively. You can see right here in the middle, he's poking along. But as you look on the red course with Shablom, he's all over the place. So he definitely lost some turns and overall points right here.
Shane McConkey is also moving on as he beat fast-footed Bobby Aldegari in a very close matchup. And Scott Koff is moving on. The 5-time Tour champion with solid skiing is now in the quarterfinals. And Cameron Boyle on the bottom of the bracket, seeded number 2, defeats Scotty Hall. Boyle is also moving on. And this week, our Paul Mitchell spotlight shines on Sugarbush, Vermont. Sugarbush, Vermont, where great skiers ski. And here's a great skier, Doug Lewis, to take us on a little tour.
Hi, I'm Doug Lewis. I'm the ski ambassador here at Sugarbush, and welcome to the Sugarbush ski area. Basically, we've got great snow, great terrain, and this is where great skiers ski. Here at Sugarbush, we have 110 trails, which pretty much sets us apart from everyone in the East. We've got trails to bump on, to cruise on, to speed on, and to learn on. The Sugarbush Valley is home of the Green Mountain Valley School, where I went to school. We've had such Olympians as myself, bronze medalist AJ Kitt, Jeremy Nobis, and Doug Powell. What's nice about Sugarbush is we have everything. We've got moguls for the bumpers, we've got glades, lots of glades for the people who like to ski through the trees, but yet we have lots of wide open trails for those beginners who want to learn how to ski the best. Because if you can ski in the East, if you can ski in Sugarbush, you can ski anywhere in the world.
Stay with us, we'll be back with more action from Sugarbush, Vermont.
Right here in Sugarbush, we're instituting a new start system. We've had some trouble in the past, so we got this new system going. We're going to try it out here at Sugarbush. With me today is Justin Patno from the AMSP. He's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
That's right, Nelson. What we have here is a judged event, so it's super important for the judges to see an even start with the two competitors. It creates the illusion of a faster skier when one skier barges. So what we've done is we've created this motocross-style start system, and it'll basically get rid of all the human error involved in the starting process. So we'll see what happens.
Our next stop on the Bud Mogul Series will be from Killington, Vermont. That's the final stop of the East Coast Triple Crown. That'll be on Sunday, February 6th at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time. And 8 skiers are left to come through that new start gate. It'll be Dave Hill up next on the blue course. He's the #1 seed. He'll be going up against Bradley Holmes. You've heard it before. You're going to hear it again. It's Bad Brad Bumpin' Brad on the red course. Dave Hilb on the blue. Hilb out of Vail, Colorado. He was the #1 skier in 1992. In 91, he was 2nd overall. And Brad Holmes is on the red course.
Out of the gate real evenly there. Let's see what they can do on this run. They're getting down to the big money now.
Look at those turns by Brad Holmes on the red course. Nice air as they both land, and here comes Brad. He's down the middle. He's not taking the Cameron Boyle line. He skied well through that hard snow.
Very nice skiing from both skiers. They're skiing fast. They're getting up there. Nice double twister there from Brad Holmes. Bradley's getting ahead now through the finish line. Here comes Bill. Whoa, riding the pony at the bottom.
And Bradley Holmes is first to the finish line in the quarterfinals. Bradley Holmes and Dave Hill with a great run to start out these quarterfinals.
Bradley Holmes through the middle section of the course with some real nice skiing, some quick feet, great pole plants. He gets off that second air, a nice double twister. Could have squeezed his feet a little bit tighter, been a little cleaner with his skis and the twisters, but nonetheless a great landing and fast through the finish line.
And he squeezed out of victory. 13-12 over Dave Hill. Holmes advances, and the #1 seed is gone in the quarterfinals.
And as you can see, 3-2, 3-2 on the turns for Bradley Holmes on the red course.
I hope I get the blue course next time because it's a lot more direct. The red course has a lot of ice in there, but I skied it about as good as I could hope to ski it, and I'm ready to take this thing all the way.
And now we move to the pairing in the middle of the quarterfinals. It'll be Chris Drops up on the blue course. Drops won in Winter Park. Chris Drops from Breckenridge, Colorado. He's 27 years old, a former World Cup competitor, and he will be going up against last year's Tour champion on the red course. It'll be Chuck Martin skiing out of Killington, Vermont, and he is #1 right now in this East Coast Triple Crown. Martin on the red, Drops on the blue.
Both these guys have a win under their belt, Duffy, so either one of them could do it today.
Martin heading straight into the upper air, and they jump. Martin comes off first.
Back to twister there, and the twister spread from Chris drops his last turns here. He's catching up and may pass Chuck Martin.
Chuck Martin skiing right through the hard snow on the red course. He's off the second air first. Nice double from Martin as he moves quickly to the finish line. Drops almost gave it up on the lower section of the course.
Yeah, Drops had some trouble. It started way up earlier, right before that first air. But you can see Chuck Martin right here off the second air. Spread, twister, spread. Nice big air on these hard conditions and great skiing on through the finish line.
Chuck Martin is the man to beat. That $10,000 purse can be divided $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000. But if one competitor wins all three events of this East Coast Triple Crown, he will take the entire bonus pool away from all the other skiers. And a 15-10 victory for Chuck Martin as he seems unbeatable right now. Our next pairing in the quarterfinals will be Shane McConkey on the blue course. Shane McConkey out of Summit County, Colorado. He's skiing out of Vail, and it'll be Justin Patnode on the red course. Patnode skiing out of Dillon, Colorado for Abe Basin. Patnode the 11th seed, McConkey the 14th seed, and of course it's an even start out of the motocross start as Patnode now moves to the first jump, and McConkey's there first.
But a nice helicopter from Justin Patnode off the top jump. That's a tough call. Oh, and McConkey goes down hard.
McConkey got twisted in his upper body, and you can see Justin checking him out. Justin better keep going because Patnode had a nice helicopter spread from Justin Patnode. He is skiing very well here on Stein's Run.
Shane McConkey on the blue course gets caught up on some bumps, doesn't absorb quite as much, doesn't see this big rut coming, and bang, he goes down hard and gets the rib slam on the mogul. Ouch.
But an ooh, that feels good. Look at Justin's helicopter spread. And Justin Patnode is the winner, 18-7 over his good friend. He cared for him on the course, but he left him behind. Patnode moves up.
Came out, I actually stopped to see if Shane was okay, as I heard him grunting up there. He hit his hip real bad, so I didn't know if he needed some help or not. So as soon as I saw him get up, we both skied down. So it was a great run.
And now it will be the Tournament of Champions here in the quarterfinals. It'll be Cameron Boyle up on the blue course. Cameron Boyle, 2 times a Tour champion, skiing very well now and second seeded. He'll be on the blue, going up against on the red, Scott Koff, 5 times a champion. Nelson, this should be a great test of both these skiers.
What a great matchup here. Of course, both these guys are from the West, but they have great experience traveling all over the country skiing in these Bud events. Here they come.
Scott Koff skiing on the red course, Cameron Boyle skiing on the blue course. Koff jumps over to get to the air. Big air by both skiers.
It certainly is. You can see both these guys have slightly different styles. Koff a little bit lower, stronger with his edges. Meanwhile, Boyle's a little smoother, a little bit more fluid.
And they're neck and neck as they come to the bottom, and Cameron Boyle has trouble off the lower air in his landing.
And Koff through the line first. That was a great run for both skiers. They both had small mistakes after that second air. Koff almost goes through the center line of the course, which would of course mean a disqualification, but he comes back into the line. This is going to be a close call from the judges.
What happened to Cameron Boyle on this landing on the lower air?
Right here, Cameron Boyle flies off the jump, gets a good maneuver in, but I think he drifts a little bit over to the skier's left, more than he expected, runs into trouble on the landing, gets back on his heels, and in this fast snow condition, it takes a while to get back on top of your skis.
And Nelson, you said that Scott Koff got very close to the center line, and the judge in the middle of our judges stand said, not only close, Nelson, but across that finish line, and Koff is disqualified.
Well, he's certainly disappointed, and I couldn't tell from here if he had or not crossed that line, but I knew it was very close, and as you say, of course, the judge's call says it was not close enough. In fact, he crossed it.
Don't go away. There's more Mogul Madness from the Bud Mogul Series from Sugarbush, Vermont.
Welcome back to the Bud Mogul Series. Nelson Carmichael and Duffy Wilson. We're ready for our final four. Semifinalists are set. Nelson, let's talk about the course. Red course is tough.
It certainly is. There's a nice icy spot right in the middle of that red course. Most of the skiers, though, they know about that now at this point, and they're avoiding it. The blue course is a little bit more even. It's bump, bump, bump right down the line.
On the top side of the bracket, it'll be Bradley Holmes going up against Chuck Martin.
And of course, Chuck Martin, the only guy now who could win that $10,000 Grand Prix in the East Coast right here. If anybody can do it, Chuck Martin can. He knows these conditions very well.
He's going up against Bradley Holmes. Can he stop Chuck here?
Who knows? In duels, you never know what is going to come up on the duel competition. Again, I think Chuck Martin will take him, but it's duels. Nobody knows until they get in the gate.
On the bottom side of the bracket, it'll be Cameron Boyle going up against Justin Patnode. Cameron skiing very well.
He certainly is a real fluid skier. He's been back east enough times, although he's from Squaw Valley where it's usually softer conditions than here at Sugarbush today, but he's skiing very fluidly, keeping his skis on the snow. He's had some great runs so far.
He's going up against Justin Patnode.
Justin Patnode's had some great helicopters in the earlier rounds.
$4,000 to the winner here, and the Chuck Martin watch continues. Can he get that second jewel in the crown? Let's go to the start and find out. Bradley Holmes will be up first on the blue course. Bradley Holmes, a junior world champion, and the man he'll be going against may have taken a tour championship from him last year as Bradley was injured and did not compete well. The man he's going up against, Chuck Martin, was last year's tour champion. Chuck Martin, a bronze medalist in the 1991 World Championships of Freestyle Skiing, will be on the red course.
Red course ready. Ready. Blue course ready. Racers ready.
Chuck Martin, fresh off a victory in Sunday River last week. Here he is at Sugarbush. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what he can do against Bradley Holmes over there on the blue course.
They land side by side, Nelson, and here comes Martin to that hard section on Steins.
Bradley Holmes is way ahead at this point. Chuck Martin's got to catch up. Right here, triple twister from Bradley Holmes. And look at Bradley go right here. Cruising to the finish line. Wow, what a nice
Very
run.
close at the finish line. Brad Holmes put the accelerator down on the blue course.
Chuck Martin with some great skiing here in the middle section of the course as he comes into that second jump, but I'm afraid it's a little bit too slow. Bradley Holmes with a great run there. Definitely his best run of the day on these hard conditions. Gets off a great triple twister down on that second air, and he was just faster all the way down, faster than Chuck Martin, and I believe he took Chuck Martin by surprise.
And Brad Holmes is a winner on the blue course, 14-11. He is the hero of all the skiers, as now the money in the $10,000 bonus pool will be divided up.
Well, I got out of the gate. I got a good start. Chuck started gaining on me again. Went off the top air. You got to be really on the top air because you land on the downhill knoll. And after that, I just got in the middle, found those ruts, let them run. Got my bottom air landed solid. And after that, it was all the way down, no problem.
And now we go to the bottom side of the bracket here in the semifinals. It'll be Justin Patnode going up against Cameron Boyle. Patnode advanced over Joe Blom in the round of 16, and he beat his old buddy Shane McConkey in the round of 8. We look now to Cameron Boyle, who was number 2 seeded. Cameron Boyle wants to get back to the top. It's been a long time since Cameron won. He advanced in a very tough decision over Scott Koff. Boyle on the red course, Patnode on the blue.
Red course ready. Blue course ready. Racers ready.
And they're out of the gate with an even start there. Patnode on the blue and Boyle on the red. Boyle's a little bit ahead at this point into that first jump. Daffy twisted from Boyle, and a nice helicopter there from Justin Patnode, although Patnode is catching up from that helicopter. It took him a while to get back into the line.
Cameron Boyle in the lead on the red course with great turns. Patnode trying to catch up. As Cameron Boyle from the bottom side of the bracket wants to see Brad Holmes in the final.
Nice
and
run
Cameron
there.
Boyle raises his hand as he crosses the finish line.
Cameron Boyle is happy about that performance, as he should be. That was a great run. A nice spread, twister spread here on the bottom. As I've been saying all day, it's a hard landing. These guys don't want to jam their toes into their boots. They want to land nice and solid and ski on down and hopefully be the victor, as I believe Cameron will this time on that red course, and he's going to go into that final.
And Cameron Boyle
wins the approval of the judges and moves into the final. He'll be going up against Brad Holmes. He moves by Justin Patno. The score, 14-11.
A little back here and there. Overall, felt really fast. Air was better than the last run. I'm just super stoked. Me and Holmes, man, we travel around all year. It's just the best. First and second, can't ask for better than that, man. It's gonna be awesome. Look forward to the finals.
And now the finals are set. When we come back, it'll be Cameron Boyle going up against Bradley Holmes for $4,000 first place money here in Sugarbush. Welcome back to Sugarbush, Vermont. Duffy Wilson and Nelson Carmichael, great skiers ski here in Sugarbush. We have seen some great skiing today. We are now set for our finals. The battle for third and fourth place, Nelson, will be between Justin Patno and Chuck Martin.
Second jump here for Chuck Martin on the blue course with a nice spread, twister spread. Not real big, but as I've been saying all day, this is extremely hard conditions. When you land, it slaps and your toe jams in the front of your boot. It hurts. Chuck Martin got the job done.
And we now move to the finals. There's two skiers left at the top of the course. It'll be Cameron Boyle and Bradley Holmes. Bradley Holmes from Tahoe City, California will be on the blue course, and Cameron Boyle will be on the red. Chuck Martin with one win in this Triple Crown. Now another skier will have one win also. Brad Holmes has skied very well on the blue course, and Cameron has not had a tough time on that red course, Nelson.
Out of the gate clean here, Bradley Holmes may have a little bit of an advantage on the blue course. It's a little bit more rhythmic. It's got some nice moguls in it.
Bradley took his time coming out of the start, but he made it up very quickly as he is leaving Cameron Boyle in his dust.
Great skiing here for both skiers. Bradley a little bit back there, but he's trying to speed up. And a double twister there, a screaming Seaman Daffy, late cross Daffy.
And here comes Boyle to the finish line.
Wow, what a finish there.
Moto finish. Split that speed judge right in half. What was the time on that run?
What a great finish there. Cameron Boyle moved over to the outside line. He had to get some speed up against Bradley Holmes. He was doing all he could do. I think Bradley Holmes is going to take that one, but I'm not the judge. We'll wait and see.
Bradley Holmes is the winner, and Cameron Boyle seems just as excited. What a great run by both of those skiers. Nelson Carmichael is on his way down to the finish to talk to Bradley and Cameron.
With the winners today, first and second, Cameron Boyle and Bradley Holmes. You guys both skied great. I know you're from Squaw Valley, both you guys, but of course you come back here to Sugarbush with some hard conditions, some hard landings. Both you guys skied great. Cameron, I know you took out Justin Patno earlier with some great skiing and some great skiing in the final. Tell me about the final against your buddy Bradley Holmes.
Well, originally we both were supposed to be in opposite courses, but I preferred the red and Bradley preferred the blue, so we switched up top. And you know, me and Bradley are best friends, and we travel all season together, and you know, we're really not too worried who comes out the best at the end. If we get first and second together, we're both just stoked.
Great. And Bradley, you took out Chuck Martin in the semifinals, which I think was your best run of the day. Really great skiing. As I said before, I think took Chuck Martin by surprise. You were really fast, and you've broken wide open now this Triple Crown here back east. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about your final today?
Well, I'm really excited that I took Chuck out because it gives more people a chance to make some money with the Triple Crown. And, you know, the final with me and Cameron, I couldn't be happier to ski someone like him. You know, he's my best friend, and it was just a great day. I'm happy.
All right, congratulations to both of you guys, and we'll look for you next week in Killington.
Thank you.
And the outdoor product big air of the day goes to our champion, Bradley Holmes. Look at this beautiful triple twister.
The 1994 Bud Mogul Series is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a clean, crisp, classic taste. And by Outdoor Products, backpacks made right here in the USA. Accommodations provided by the Sugarbush Inn, Sugarbush, Vermont. This has been a presentation of CE Sports and Bud Sports in association with ESPN.